So Pepetools sent me their new Bench Basics polishing motor, and I'm going to check it out and see what it can do and see if it's worth getting one. So let's get started. And as you can see here, it comes with some extra bits so you can use it right out of the box, like the left and right threaded spindles and the Allen key to install them. Installation is pretty straightforward. Just find the flat spot on the motor shaft and line that up with the screws on the spindle, and then just tighten them up. And this does come with 2 screws, so you can mount this down to your table, and both the mounting holes are on the front. And if we look on the bottom, it has some rubber feet on it, so you could use this unmounted as well. To turn this polishing motor on, there is a switch on the side that will give it power, and in the front is a speed controller knob that will turn on the actual motor. So with it going at its lowest setting, I can throw my polishing wheels on it while it's spinning, and it'll just automatically thread on. And if that's a little too intimidating for you, you can always just have the machine off and thread them on yourself. Seeing that these are brand new wheels, I'm going to break them in using this rake. And it's a pretty simple process. You're just going to turn the machine on and you're going to touch the rake to the polishing wheels. And this is going to make a mess and make threads go everywhere. But your goal here is to soften up the pad. And once it's pretty much done, it should look something like this. You can cut down some of these extra strands or they are just going to come off eventually. And if your motor's not mounted, make sure you're holding it in place as you're doing this. And if you haven't already noticed, this thing is absolutely tiny. Here it is next to my main polishing setup. So if you're limited on space, this is going to come in really handy, seeing that it takes up barely any space on my workbench. But anyways, when it comes to actually polishing, make sure you get some sort of finger protection, like these little silicone finger protectors, or leather ones. They'll protect your hands from the heat of polishing. And make sure you're only using finger guards. Do not wear gloves when using machines that are spinning like this, because they can catch your glove and pull your hand in, and cause injury to you. With the finger guards, it will just rip it off and you'll be fine. So you're not only limited to the 3-inch polishing wheels that this came with, you can use other things like these, and up to a 4-inch polishing wheel. And when it comes to the polishing part, you need a polishing compound. And this will differ depending on what you're trying to do and what materials you're working with. I'm just going to load up the polishing wheel with this all-purpose compound and use it as my cutting compound. And this should smooth down any rough edges or textures or anything like that and remove any deep scratches. I'm going to be polishing up this dragon ring. It is all silver, and I'm just going to be doing the outside of it. And as you can see, as soon as I touch the wheel with the silver, it starts to turn black, which is totally normal. And if you're new to polishing, especially with something like this gets really hot, so keep a little cup of water or a bowl of water nearby, and you can dip your piece if it gets too hot to handle. So after a bit of polishing and getting this to where I wanted it, you can see that there is a ton of mess on the table. And that is one of the downsides to having an open air polisher like this. But anyways, I'm going to go over to the other side now and use some red rouge to finish this off. And this is going to smooth everything out to the point where it's going to have a really nice luster to it and a pretty much mirror finish. And this works really good on gold and silver. And you can see it has the same problem as the other side where it's making a huge mess. And red rouge is pretty good at getting everywhere. And after a few minutes of polishing, here is the piece. And it looks pretty good. Not perfect by any means, but pretty good. I also did the same process to the skull ring and it came out really nice. So overall, this polishing motor can get the job done. And if you do get one of these, make sure you think of where you're going to put it because it's going to be a very messy area. So you can either make or buy an enclosure for one of these to keep all the dust down in your work area and not having to clean everything up. And it's also not great to breathe in. I made sure to use a respirator when using this and some safety glasses. All in all, not a bad little setup for only $100 and pretty much ready to go out of the box. I do highly suggest getting something to contain all of this though, and you can find them at different price points or you could just make your own. Either way, I'll have links to everything in the description below. So let me know in the comments what you think of this little polisher and if you're planning on getting one. Well, that's about it, so thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.